Thanks for joining me as we look at one of the most familiar chapters in Luke. It's Luke chapter 15. I think many people know this chapter because it contains three of Jesus' most beloved parables and most taught parables, I would say, a lot of times. The parable of the lost sheep, the parable of the lost coin, and the parable of the prodigal son. In each one of them, we see the incredible love and compassion of our God. As we look at the parable of the lost sheep, we see that the shepherd leaves 99 and goes to find the one that is lost. And as we think about that, we discover that he understands the need to bring that sheep back, and the sheep is weak, and so he puts that sheep on his shoulders and he carries it home. And together they rejoice because the one sheep who has wandered off is now being cared for, and the compassion of the shepherd is revealed to us. Isn't that how Jesus is with us? He's so compassionate that even when we wander off, he loves us. And when we come back to him, he cares deeply for us. The parable of the lost coin, a woman loses something that's very valuable to her, and she diligently looks until she finds it. And we discover that she rejoices with her friends when it is found. Which one of us hasn't lost something at some time? And we get so excited when we find it. So it is that we see a God represented here in the parable that loves us so deeply that when one person repents, when a person comes back to know Jesus, a person who has been lost is now found, how it is that all of heaven rejoices over one who has now come to know Jesus. And then we see the prodigal son parable, and we see two sons here, the one who has gone off and done his own thing, and the one who has stayed home and been obedient and helped his father take care of everything. And in that we pictured a very sharp contrast that takes place, a contrast between the mercy and grace of God extended by the Father, represented by that which the Father extends, and on the other hand, the self-righteous resentment of the son who has remained home. We see the contrast there, but what we can see is that we have a God who loves us and extends his grace and mercy to us even when we have been far off, even when we maybe have had an attitude at times like the son who remained home, that when we desire to turn that attitude around, we see a God who extends his grace and mercy to us and receives us as his child. Friends, I don't know what you're thinking about these parables, but what I can tell you is this: that God extends his grace and mercy to you as his child. If you've not known him and come to know him, if you've known him and wandered off, or if you've just had a bad attitude like one of the sons, God will extend his grace and mercy to you because he doesn't want you to be lost. He wants you to be his child, and he wants you to be in relationship with him. And so today, remember this, that God is extending his grace and mercy to all those who he loves. And so friends, it's up to you. Will you receive that grace and mercy that has been extended to you by the Father?